We don't want to be made to feel guilty, so we don't call to mind our failings. Sometimes it is hard, as she says. And so, consequently, it could be argued, we deny ourselves the opportunity to receive or acknowledge the receipt of God's forgiveness. In the words of 1 John 1, 8-9, if we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, he who is faithful and just will forgive us our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. It seems to me that this is to open ourselves to a process of healing, not one of neurotic self-denigration. While not wishing to advocate a return to the Book of Common Prayer, I have followed too much the devices and desires of my own heart. I feel it is entirely reasonable to say that there is no health in me which is earned or deserved. I am radically dependent, and I desire and recognize my need to be reminded of my radical dependence on the continuing gift of the mercy and grace of God. That is not to overstate things. It is merely to recognize and identify the real state of things. Like the unblocking and freeing up of the flow of water through the showerhead, this is not a once and for all event, but something requiring regular and repeated attention. We will, of course, be asking for forgiveness and saying the Lord's Prayer together today. And even if there is some kind of specific confession included in a liturgy, there's not usually enough time allowed to do anything more than make a kind of mental note that this is an important aspect of our spiritual life, which we need to return to in a more quiet context. But at least we do have the collective reminder. We recall once more that if we allow the love of God to wash into and drench the parts of us that are parched and dry, miraculous things can happen. Of course, here in New Zealand, our water is soft, and our showerheads don't tend to block up with hard deposits. Maybe this is because we live in God's own. Would that the same could be said of our hearts.